Like on the internet?
Like on the internet, okay. Okay. Welcome to the Devs Operative Cloud Native Coffee Hour. With
Coffee hour. Some of us are smarter than others.
That's funny. So we are a little bit late today, obviously. A lot of stuff going on today. A lot of business stuff. A lot of cloud native things we are working on. And we have a new stream set up. So we're also fighting with that. And I want to make sure that it's working. You know, we are new to streaming for anyone that is here. So Chris is here, perfect. And we are still figuring it out. And we just upgraded to Streamlabs. Trying some new things out. We're multi-streaming, so now we're streaming to YouTube as well. Lots of changes, and we're fighting it. So bear with me. Chris, can you hear me? Since you're in the chat.
Vector earlier seems good.
Yes,
He
sir.
says
Can you
yes.
hear the other guys?
Hi, Chris. I love you. A totally normal way. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
He says
Okay,
hi,
perfect.
so hopefully that's a yes.
I
He loves
checked it
this.
on Twitch. Is anybody checking YouTube?
Nope.
Him now.
Check and see if I got my notification. No notification. There's the Twitch notification. We're good. Subscriptions.
It's live. Ooh, I see it.
Yeah.
Looks good. I mean, it's me in the middle, so it looks
That's
as good
'cause
as that can
You
happen.
did so much today. You're the main character in the story today.
Cool. I can't wait to see what I do next.
Okay. So, today's topic is cloud native tooling, right? So today's gonna be a shorter stream because we started a little bit late, but it kind of works out because the topic today is flexible, and this is something we're gonna be talking about a lot. But we did a couple deep dive streams, and we were jumping around a lot and using different tools, and we thought, why not just take a little bit of time and kind of go over the tooling that we do use on a regular basis. So, getting started with that, any opening remarks you guys wanted to make before we jump in? Any news that you want to share or anything like that?
Is it go on Middle Dan? Still?
Still echo on middle name? Is there echo on just me? Christopher?
Shouldn't be. I don't know why there would be.
Chat confirm.
Got one microphone going. A little. Oh no.
Okay.
I can't hear it.
Ooh, I know. If you're still hearing it, it's probably me because again,
Okay.
having issues. But let me turn on my sound.
Okay.
Okay, try that.
Trying it.
I turned it way down. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah.
Normally I'd be wearing headphones, but for some reason I messed up something with my sound because I was making changes, and now I can't get the headphones working, and we ran out of time to fix it, so it is what it is. Hopefully the echo is gone now.
Checking comms from Middle Dan.
Good thing is, I don't see any other users other than us.
And Sam's got a new microphone. Sam, you're coming through pretty good. Sounds pretty solid.
Chris, how's the new mic?
You should be closer to it. That's really good.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's just, I can't show you, but with my current desk setup, that's why I'm super excited for the standing desk. I don't have room to put my mic here.
Sam,
It's way up there.
Sam, we need to get you something to handle that, and then we need to get the foam pads for Sam's room. You know, like the padded room. Obviously, Sam should be in a padded room. if we're being honest. At least a sound deadening room.
Uh-huh.
No, it's going to
Okay.
sound great. It does sound really good when it's at height, so we'll get that fixed.
Cool.
All right, jumping in.
Love it.
Looks good.
Jumping in. Hopefully that transition worked.
Did.
It did. It looks great.
Beautiful. So, today we're going to talk about some tooling here. Where to start? You know, we don't have a script for this. We just kind of pull it out of our ass right when we start. So, I think where I would start personally is that, you know, we work on the command line all day, every day. We know that there's lots of tools that have come out recently, specifically around, there's a tool called Lens, which is pretty cool. It's a GUI interface that lets you interact with Kubernetes. We could go over it in a future stream, not this one because I don't have it set up right now. There's also, you know, VS Code. VS Code has some really, really nice plugins. Very good. And those two are probably the most popular. And if they work for you, that's great. I have nothing really negative to say about those tools. My workflow for many, many years and currently is the command line. I find it gives me the most flexibility and the most power. That being said, there's kind of a caveat. Probably 3 or 4 years ago, I started using a tool when it was very, very early on called canines. It is a terminal Kubernetes viewer. I don't know how better to describe it. It does everything Kubernetes does. Dan, do you have a better description for it?
I think a viewer, or, you know, I hate to use the word lens, but I mean, it really does. It basically makes it so that you don't have to think, and it'll just tell you what's going on in there most of the time. Like, it gives you a nice little, dare I say, real-time dashboard, but it's actually real-time from the Kube API server. It's nice. It's really nice. That's all I have to say about it. It's my number one tool for Kubernetes.
Yeah. From their site, Canines is a terminal-based UI to interact with your Kubernetes cluster. Obviously, we're used to terminal-based stuff. Just find it so much quicker. All the shortcuts, keyboard commands. You never have to take your hands off the keyboard, and you can view, interact, do anything with your cluster, basically.
This is going very poorly. I don't have the latest kube config on my Mac. So I'm trying to dig out of WSL, wherever that is. My kube config.
For the desktop cluster?
Yeah.
You can also make it a little bigger, and we could probably send it to you otherwise. A couple new users joining us in Twitch, it looks like. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, you want to send it to me in Discord?
Yeah.
That'd probably be easier than me trying to navigate the file system of WSL. It's so hard to get to it
Uh-huh.
if you don't know where to go. I always have to look it up. That'd be awesome. While we're waiting on that, let me open up Discord here real quick. Yeah, speaking of Discord, we're slowly putting this channel together. We're trying to get, this is new to us. We're all new to streaming, and we're trying to create a community around cloud native tooling and that type of stuff. We will be opening up our Discord some point in the future, near future. It's something we're working on, but we want to do it right when we do open that up to all our viewers, which we don't have any viewers, so it's not even that big of a deal. But still, we want to do it right.
You have a couple out there.
Where are you going to send it to me?
I'm trying to send it to you in Discord.
Which you are streaming.
Yes, I am. I am streaming it.
Just 1 second. Trying to figure out how I can view a dot directory. Show view options. Or hidden directory, I think. Mac
You could
calls
do
it.
just copy it to your desktop.
It's gonna be quicker. And on doing that, so config, desktop, big, come on, allow.
Yeah, and the great part of our kube config that we have configured right now is something we could talk about in a future stream too, which is how we've connected it to GitHub as our backend identity provider. And it's great. We modified our K3s so that the Kube API server for K3s validates with GitHub. I believe we have our DEX running that really orchestrates all of it, right? We're still doing that piece. And so we have a DEX instance that handles the OAuth 2 pieces and validates the identity by opening a browser, and then you log in with your GitHub credential, and then if you have enough GitHub credential, well, you get access to the cluster with whatever RBAC that provides you. And that's worked for us pretty well. In a future stream, and if anybody got the email for Cube Weekly 274, they talked about a really cool tool, which I'm not going to go into at the moment, called Pinniped. There's a great video with some people that really went over that whole system very nicely. It made a lot of sense to me, but I've spent like 2 years looking into that system, and they just like simplified it with Pinniped. Pretty strong. It makes it so that you don't even need DEX. You can just plug it into whatever OIDCs in your backend or whatever identity provider you have. And we're looking to expand into that. So look for that in a future stream.
Okay, cool. We are up and running. Thank you for filling the time, Dan. Appreciate it. Yeah, so it was that easy. So what Dan was just talking about was, we have like a single cube config that just anyone can use because it uses GitHub, our GitHub organization, to let us log in. So yeah, definitely that is a future stream. Okay, so canines. We're talking about canines right now because it is honestly the silver bullet for us. You can write, if you're going to study for the CKA exam or anything like that, you're going to have to use kubectl. And I mean, kubectl is the base of interacting with Kubernetes. So you gotta know it, and at times it's going to be the most powerful option that you have. That being said, on a regular basis, you're looking at lots of different pods. You're trying to see their logs. You're trying to see their configurations, and doing that with kubectl is a little bit heavy, a little bit time consuming. And there's lots of options out there. This is just the one that I have settled on. This is the one that I like a lot, and it's the one that I know Sam and Dan use. But yeah, it's canines. Canines is a command line tool, but it really feels like a GUI of sorts. So what you're seeing on the screen right now is just one of the views. And guys, I'm probably just gonna be talking a lot, but please, if you have any things that you want to add, just jump right in, please.
Okay.
So canines, this is just like one of the screens. I wouldn't say there is a main screen at all because they all look the same. As you can see right here, let me zoom in here so you can see it just a little bit better. In the center, it tells you what resource type in Kubernetes you are viewing. In this case, you are viewing nodes. And then in here, it tells you how many nodes there are for for nodes, not necessarily that helpful, but when you're looking at pods, it can tell you how many pods you're looking at, which is nice. In the case of nodes, I'm not sure what that's for, so I can't really...
All namespaces. But there aren't any namespaces for nodes.
Exactly, that's why I don't really... Yeah. Anyways, normally that all would be referring to the namespace. But with nodes, I don't really know what it means. Maybe it's just an oversight on the programming. That's fine. Anyways, Best way to navigate this is with Vim keys. So HJKL is usually the way you want to go. I believe the arrow keys do work, but if you know Vim and Vim commands, you can get to the bottom with a Shift G, or you can get to the top with GG, things like that. So if you know Vim, it can make navigating canines very quick. And what it does here is that it presents some very high level information, very nice. And if you want to dig into it, you can. So at the top, it kind of gives you the most generic commands that you would be able to make use of. There are many, many, many commands, and if I hit question mark, you can actually see most of them, if not all. And I don't know if this thing changes based upon what you're looking at. It probably does, but escape goes back once you execute something. So let's take a look. These are the nodes of our cluster. And let's just say we wanted to describe one. So normally with kubectl, you type kubectl get, I think, or describe. I don't use kubectl that much anymore, to be honest.
Describe.
Is it describe?
Mm-hmm.
Let me open up a new screen here. See kubectl, describe, node, and let's grab one of controller 1. Let's try that. Okay, so you're going to get the exact same information, but I had to type it out. I had to remember the command. Whereas here, I apologize. Here, I can just highlight the one I want to look at and hit D, and here we go. Also, in here, I can type. I can search, and it's Vim searching again. So you just hit / and you start typing your search criteria, and N to go to the next iteration of that in your search. Very powerful. Something when you're using kubectl, you'd have to pipe it to Vim or pipe it to less or something like that in order to do the same thing. Which, I guess if you are very, very comfortable on the command line, which I believe I am, I guess I just really like the accessibility of this tool. So there's that. For nodes, which is kind of cool, I believe if you just hit enter, it takes you to the pods that are running on that node. So now you can see in the center here, pods, and you can see the little pink thing, and this is controller 1. So it's telling you kind of the view that you have of pods. And this is all the pods on controller 1, regardless of namespace. In here, you can quickly and easily shell into a pod. If you look up here, you can see S for shell, and you can hit S, and now I am actually in that pod. That quick, that easy. To do that with kubectl, it's another command, and you have to use some notations to put yourself into a bash prompt and all that. Let's exit out of here.
Right, and it's very doable if that's your workflow. This one is just more accessible for people that are new, or if you're lazy like me. Like, it just works. You can do it both ways. Totally up to you.
Another thing that you do often is port forwarding. If I wanted to quickly port forward one of these pods, I can just go to the pod I want to port forward, hit, as you can see up here, Shift F, and boom. It pops up a little thing that is basically tell me the container name, the port, and then the local port on your computer that you want to port forward to. Super easy. I don't have one right now that I want to port forward. Actually, I probably could port forward traffic, but we'll do that later. So I'm just kind of going over the features that you get by using canines. So a couple of those, I think you can, we can look at the YAML of one of these pods. So, for example, let's actually look at deployments here before I do the YAML thing. So we're looking at pods right now. If I type : I can now declare a resource type I want to view. So I can type deploy or deployment, hit enter, and now it takes me to show me all the deployments. So here's all the deployments that we have deployed. Very nice. So now, if I want, I can say, hey, show me for Argo server, for this deployment, hit enter. It's going to take me to the pods associated with that deployment. There's only one. I believe Chris, one of our employees, has... I thought you had... I guess this is the only one. That's Rooksef. I thought you had Kafka like scaled up to 3 pods in here at one point.
I think it's a stateful set, right? Is that one a stateful set, Chris? You kind of already showed the filtering, but it's super handy on the pod level too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay, that's a good example. So let's take a look at all pods. Now, our cluster's very small. We don't have a lot going on in here. We work on a lot of clients that have like 600 or plus pods running, and it can be kind of tough to find what you're looking for. So you can actually just type / and start looking for what you're looking for. So I'm looking for, I don't know, one of the mons, or one of the managers. Rooksef has something called a manager. So if I want to look for the manager, and I kind of know what it's written, there I typed MGR, and it filtered all of the pods down to 1. And great, let me take a look at it. And I can hit describe, or I can hit L for logs, and now I can see all the logs coming out. Quick and easy. I can actually search the logs with / again, and I can find anything with git. And now I just filtered it down to just the gets. And it's still live. So anything with git that's coming in the live feed, it's coming right in. Very, very handy. From here, from looking at the logs, you can copy the logs, you can save the logs, you can clear them, all sorts of things. So if you were just looking at the logs and you wanted to quickly save it and ship it to someone else, you can hit Control S. And it just saved it to a folder that just disappeared very quickly. Okay, moving on, feature-wise, the YAML. So let's take a look at a deployment here. Let's look at BotCube. That's probably a simpler deployment. And we'll look at the YAML. So here's the YAML of that deployment. Very nice. It's called BotCube. BotCube. In the namespace BotCube. So the equivalent of that, kubectl, git deployment BotCube -n BotCube. Great. So that's going to show that. Now you can also say -o YAML, and you're going to get the YAML for that deployment, just like we see right here. Same exact thing, but less typing, a lot quicker to get to. It just lets you see things. Some other cool features. If I wanted to scale up devsoperative.com, I can do that right from the deployment. I can hit S and say, hey, I want 3 replicas now. Hit enter. And you can see now it's already scaling up to 3. Very quick, very easy. I find this much easier to work with than like Lens. Something with more of a clicky GUI, something that uses a mouse and a keyboard. I don't find it nearly as intuitive to use or as quick to use as this. But I also am a Vim user, and I find never leaving the keyboard to be easier.
It's nice. A couple things to add, I guess, to that. Just to tack onto that. You know, we're using tmux a lot. It's really nice to split panes, have canines, and your terminal, and you're doing you can really work it into your terminal workflow, like you said, Makita. I also find that some of the plugins, like to VS Code, they definitely work. They're a little heavier. I feel like, I don't know exactly how Canines is written. I know it's open source. I could go look. It feels like it just uses Kube API server, and there's not a lot of other tooling in between. It cleans it up. It's making a bunch of calls, which is actually, maybe you could put that on the downside list, but you're going to have to get this information out of Kubernetes one way or the other. Any tool will. So, I don't think it's necessarily a downside. Something to consider. It feels lightweight. It feels like the most lightweight thing, and you're getting a ton of data. Sam, I don't know if you got anything to add to that.
No, I think that's spot on. I mean, it's, for someone that's in an administrative type role, I feel like you're already there. You're already in the terminal. This, and like Makita pointed out, all the things that you can do, it's not, this isn't a new thing that you couldn't do before. It's just simplifying it, making it a little quicker, making it so you don't have to think as much, so you can do stuff quicker and do more, just without having to remember the command or without having to chain commands together. I don't know. There's just so many quick, simple workflows I feel like that this enables.
Yeah.
What else is kind of cool to show? I mean, I think there's events. So
Definitely.
you can see all the events coming in here. We know we have a problem with our Rook stuff right now. We just haven't had time to fix it. This is our personal cluster, so it gets worked on when we have time. But yeah, you can see your events. I believe there's something called Pulse, which I think this is just kind of gimmicky, but I bring it up sometimes because it's fun. It kind of just gives you a graphical view of what's going on in your cluster. So, I mean, I don't really care how many things I have, so all the green isn't helpful, but for events, you can actually see I have 4 errors and 24 good things that are happening. So, I don't know, when I look at this, I'm like, okay, is there any red? And if there is, that means I should probably take a look at it.
You could show Helm. Pulses is really interesting. You could show Helm. It's a pretty nice feature.
This actually has support for Helm. So you can actually see all your Helm charts in here.
Good.
You can describe them, I thought.
Something else that has output. We don't have any output on our personal devs operative website Helm chart, sorry.
Oh, that's right. The output is just the help file or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I believe if you go back, you can see values. Can you do values here? Maybe you can't.
Maybe I can. Hold on. If I hit
YAML.
Let me. Yeah. YAML.
What if you do YAML? Did you already do that? I wasn't.
So that's the full YAML.
It has everything injected.
Has everything already injected.
That's okay. That would be the next big brain play. Maybe there's a PR out there for that.
That'd be cool.
Helm get values at your fingertips here. That would be kind of neat.
Interesting. Okay. The other thing I wanted to show was do we have any CRDs installed? We do. Okay, so Canines also supports CRDs, which is really nice. So any type of custom resource definition or operator that you have installed in your cluster, you can see it here. Really nice. I don't know. Oh, cool. Yeah. So when you click on them, it will actually show you all the instances of that CRD that's installed.
Very cool.
Look at that. That's right. Argo's installed. So, anything else, guys? I don't know how many people we have in chat. Are there any questions in chat about this? I feel like we covered pretty much all the features of Canines. Vim keys, also Vim searching and jumping from bottom to top. We showed that you can look at all the different resource types. We showed that you can look at logs, you can save logs, you can port forward, you can SSH. Yeah. I think that's it for canines.
Yeah.
You could show, if we were really scraping, one of the features I use a lot because I'm lazy and canines makes everything very low friction, is decoding secrets.
Oh,
Quite frankly. Looking at config maps and secrets at your fingertips just to have a full view of what's going on in my cluster in this namespace. Pretty nice. Maybe find something benign to show.
Like botcube SA token.
That's probably fine. Maybe, no, pick something different. Do the default, oh god.
Well,
Just do bot
we don't
queue.
even use
I can
cert
disable the
manager
bot
anymore.
history.
Observer queue. Do the observer queue agent. So do a describe or an edit. I love the edit feature. I don't know, you actually didn't really cover edit yet. To live edit resources, which honestly is the killer feature.
That's true.
Other than massive.
I will show that. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll show that. But yeah, for the secrets, really cool thing. If you describe a secret, you see this. That's fine. If you edit a secret, sorry, I'm messing with my Vim config. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
You can see, well, here's a secret, but you don't know what this means because it's been base64 encoded. So it's built in to decode that base64 encoded by hitting X. And there you go. There's your secret. And you can easily copy paste it out of here if you need it. Very easy. And then as for editing, let's look at a deployment here. And let's say I wanted to edit botcube here. I can just highlight it, hit E, and now I'm in Vim using my Vim config.
In the chat, we taught Chris LBC something. Somebody's learning something from our stream.
Yes,
Secret
son.
decode. He loves it. LOL. What? I did not know that. He said
There's
that.
a lot of little hidden gems in canines. I learn things every once in a while too. There's actually a canines config, which I don't plan on going over right now, but there is a config file that you can keep in your dot files that you can actually set it up to when you do a shell, you can actually have it use a pre-made container that you have, and it references it, and it will, so if you want like certain tools available to you when you're doing a port forward or anything like that, it's pretty cool. You can also customize your color theme and shortcuts, all sorts of things. Yeah. Anything else, you guys?
Pretty good. Those are the killer features I use on a daily basis.
Yeah, I think we can do a deep dive of like maybe setup, install type stuff sometime, customizations, whatever. But I mean, I think, yeah.
Check the GitHub for that. It's in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the comments.
Excellent.
Definitely. So I think it's what, 5 o'clock now? Yeah, 5 o'clock normally when we end. Today was a little bit of a test stream because we changed a lot. We're multi-streaming right now. There's definitely things we want to go and change about the stream. I think we'll just stop it at this one demo of canines just because we are at our normal stop time. Is that okay with you guys?
Good with me?
Yes, sir.
And next week, we will have a full 1 hour stream of something super cool, massive content. It's going to be great.
And new technology, new hardware. So it's going to be as rough as ever.
Uh-huh.
True, but let's make a point of testing it first.
I mean,
We'll do that.
the clarity looks good. I'm streaming from an iPhone. I'm streaming from the front camera of an iPhone. It feels good on my monitor. Sam, your voice sounds fantastic today.
Great.
Speak directly into the mic, not on the top.
Speak directly. Yes, not on the top. Give it a little pat on the head.
Nikita, you're coming through very clean.
Perfect. Good. My camera, actually, I am using my old camera right now because I flashed some firmware that they released on my face cam and bricked it, so I'm getting a replacement.
It's a disaster.
It's a disaster. I know. It was very sad.
We will have a soundboard very, very soon. We do promise that to the viewers, and I think we need to have "It's a Disaster" as one of the soundboards too, Nikita.
Yes.
Please. Dota 2. Throwback, please. The Echo Slam. Please.
Did you guys hear that?
A little bit.
No.
Try it again.
Did
Crisp.
it come through in the stream or no?
Crisp. Too good. Oh, I don't know.
No.
LBC.
Oh, okay.
Just put
It's not
put a
set
link
up.
to it. Damn it.
I'll set it up. I'm sorry. Too much going on. Too many things. So anyways, thank you guys. Whoever watched, we appreciate you a lot. Gonna set up a Discord soon. Working on the stream some more. Next week we will have a full hour with something really detailed and juicy. Yeah. Thank you for your support. We're gonna sign off and have a wonderful evening.
Thanks.